Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 177 of Prog Review. Today, if you haven't read the description, I shall be looking, he says, I'm not organised, I shall be looking at Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Someone suggested this, don't remember who. Make yourself known in the comments below. But before we start, I wish to proffer a little conundrum for you. Oh yes, indeed. I need to ask you this quandary. Now, what do I, Darren Locke, have in common with Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, actor Derek Jacobi, TV presenter Jonathan Ross, humorist Frank Muir, and all-round entertainer Bobby Crush? Now, keep your eyes peeled at the end of the video, where the answer will be revealed. But before we talk album, let's have a little look at the CD with our good friend Darren. Take it away, Darren. Why, thank you, Darren. And here we have the CD. This is Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. This was reissued back in 1998, so I guess it's a more modern one. And let's open it up. Oh blimey, where's the CD gone? Oh crap, I know what it is. I've left it back in the computer. Won't be a minute. Here it is. Look how I handle them. I just throw them around. So here's a CD to accompany said ding. Here we go. So, should we begin? Should have a little look at the inlay. Yeah, go on then. So it's it's what we've come to expect. Lots of Eddie the Head, and Union Jacks and stuff, and pictures of the band gurning. And you got all the lyrics so you can sing along, which is nice. But yeah, this is a concept album again from the band. This was suggested by someone, I can't remember who, but I thought I'd give it a go. I like Iron Maiden, I haven't got a problem. Titties, and so yeah, it's some of the nice artwork from Derek Riggs, Graham Chapman there, and yeah, I'm sure every Iron Maiden fan would love this reissue for the little pictures. It's funny when you see the little pictures like this, you think, God, I bet this looked better on a 12-inch. Yeah, and everybody loves 12 inches. So there you go. So we'll put this back in there. We'll slide it in. Go on, get in there, you bastard. Go on. Go on, go on, go on, go on. And that's that. But what you'll notice is this is also an enhanced CD, so when you put it into your computer you can access various videos from the album the size of postage stamps. Yes, anyway, hand you back to the fat idiot. Take it away. Well, I think you'll agree that was informative as ever. Yes, indeed. So, the album. It was released on the 11th of April 1988, and this year means that it's actually celebrating its 25th anniversary. My goodness, where did the time go? And this is indeed the 7th studio album from Iron Maiden, and Steve Harris was out of ideas at the time when he came across literally homophobes. Orson Scott Card, yeah, you know, he's the one. He doesn't like the gays getting married. He doesn't. I know, shame on him. He's one of those religious nutters, you know. But anyway, Orson Scott Card, despite the homophobia, wrote a fantasy novel called Seventh Son, and Steve Harris was inspired by this. And for those of you who have not in the know, those who are born the seventh son of the seventh son are supposedly blessed with a number of mystical powers, and this sent the cogs are whirring, and Steve Harris came up with a basic concept album. But instead of sitting down writing a story about such character, they ended up creating some songs that looked at the various powers that are attributed to the titular character, and so we have a kind of a thematic concept album. There is almost a narrative in there. You can kind of find a narrative, but it just needed a bit more work. But here we go. Anyway, so the album opens with the song Moonchild, which Bruce Dickinson used Aleister Crowley's 1929 novel of the same name as inspiration. The opening passages of the song sung by Dickinson is a bit hard to listen to these days, because my mind conjures up images of Jack Black and Tenacious D, reciting the song instead of Maiden. Such is its arcane preposterousness. But it tells the story of the unborn seventh son of the seventh son, and how the devil holds power over him, and what his powers are. And the song starts gently with acoustic accompaniment before bursting onto full gallop. Then we have Infinite Dreams, and again this is about the titular character being haunted by dreams and nightmarish scenes of the future, and so he looks to a spiritualist to find the meaning behind his nocturnal visions. Again, it stonks along at a decent pace, and the baton is then soon passed to Can I Play With Madness, which is a perfect piece of radio rock, and I remember it when it was released. It was a very big hit in the UK. And who can forget the video featuring the late great Graham Chapman in one of the last things he did before his untimely demise. The song the song Can I Play With Madness continues thematically into Infinite Dreams, and we see the seventh son character consulting a prophet, indeed, about his strange visions, who tells him the truth, that he's actually the pawn of the devil, and his soul will burn in a lake of fire. Charming. This is followed by a live favourite, The Evil That Men Do, which sees the lead character in turmoil. He's torn between good and evil, but reminded that evil deeds last the longest. And it's the song features all the usual Iron Maiden hallmarks. You come to expect catchy chorus, twin guitars going at it, and a thunderous bass line. For me, it's the standout track of the album. Yeah, the title track of the album also turns out to be the longest song, checking it 6 seconds under 10 minutes, making it almost a prog rock metal song. The chugging guitars are complemented by airy synthesizer pad sounds at the beginning, and again the forces of good and evil do their best to influence the actions of the seventh son from his conception to his birth, and whether the prophecies will come true. My only criticism of the song is that the sequence of it means it appears a little late on in the album. It would have made more sense in terms of narrative structure if it appeared after Moonchild. For me, The Prophecy is probably the weakest track on the record. Despite opening and closing with some pleasant acoustic playing, the main section is a little bit forgettable compared to the stronger tracks on the album. The lyrics see the seventh son warning his village of impending doom, only to be ignored, then being blamed subsequently for the disaster, bringing a curse upon them. The lesson here is a very important lesson for all of us: is no matter what you do, you're fucked. Yes. And that is a mighty lesson to be learnt. This is followed by The Clairvoyant, which was also released as a single at the time, and again I remember it. Again, it sees the character talking, debating his powers and his power of clairvoyance, but not being able to have the ability to see his own demise. Interesting idea, that. It always reminds me of that, that gag they have, fortune's read here, and it's got a sign on the door, closed due to unforeseen circumstances. You ever seen that joke? No. The song itself, it trots along at a fair pace, as all these Iron Maiden songs do, and it has some interesting stop-start moments and changes in there, which give you a little nudge in the ribs. The album is rounded off with Only the Good Die Young, which again is another piece of classic Maiden, which sees the lead character realising his role in the world, and again weighing up good versus evil, good deeds versus bad. The ending is ambiguous, but I like to think that the seventh son sacrifices himself in order to maintain the balance of good and evil, and it inadvertently resets the counter for the next seventh son himself to reborn again and to face the same quandaries all over again. And the final bars of the song repeat the opening lines of Moonchild. So we see, like many other concept albums, the record going in full circle. It's a Ouroboros eating itself and recreating itself all at once. Oh yes, many concept albums do this. And it is indeed a classic album. It's one that's held in high regard amongst critics and fans. I think if the band had taken a bit more time with it and worked on an actual narrative structure and sequenced the album properly, it would have had the makings of a really nifty concept album. But unfortunately, it is a little bit half-baked in places, and there is an awful lot of repetition with the themes going on, of clairvoyance, visions, prophecies. There's a lot of that going on there. Despite that, this is still a good fun album to listen to, and it's a great album from the best heavy metal band in the world. Don't you forget it. And so I'm going to give this 4 Evil Eddies out of 5. That's 4 Evil Eddies out of 5. One knocked off for a general lack of focus when compared to other concept albums. So we come to the end of the video, and you're wondering what the answer is. Well, the answer to my puzzle at the beginning of the video is this. We all went to the same boys' school. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been talking about Seventh Son of Seventh Son by Iron Maiden as part of my concept album theme. I'm sure this is going to be over soon, and you've been a wonderful audience. Only one more thing to say, and that is Prog on.